So we are looking at function attributes today. Functions are our graphs that we're looking at. Attributes just kind of mean traits or things about a function. So some attributes of me are that I have brown hair and I'm not that tall and I have a really loud voice. Some attributes of these functions are going to be values of f of x. Where are they increasing or decreasing? X and Y intercepts, and maxes and mins. We have actually already looked at this first thing and this last thing to give you guys a little bit of a head start. We're going to go through one at a time. So finding f of x on a graph, we did this Wednesday in 4.4. We're going to locate our x values, then identify the corresponding y value. So moving down, we're going to do this on all three examples, and then we'll come do increase and decrease on all three examples. So f of -5 and f of -1. So f of -5 means I need to go on my graph to where x equals -5. So I go on my x-axis to -5. I'm going to put a dot there. And it's a little off, but we're going to say it's right on the axis there. We're going to say that my corresponding y value is 0. So f of -5 is 0. So we go to our x value, find our corresponding y value. Next one, we go to f of -1. So go on our x-axis to -1. Once again, our y value is also 0. Okay, any questions about that? We're going to flip this over and do the same step on all three examples. So on our next example, we are asked to find f of 6. So that means go on your x-axis to 6, find the corresponding y value, which is 1. And I like to always draw my dot there because it makes it easier for me to read. F of 4. I go on my x-axis to 4. Put a dot there. My corresponding y value is 0. Okay. And then f of x on our last one, we're going to do f of 5. So we go to where x equals 5, find our corresponding y value. It is 4. Thank you. Grab one of these sheets right there. What do you need? Anywhere for today. Anywhere, and that's going to be your new assigned seat. Just pick a seat. And then the next one, f of -2. F of -2, we go on our x-axis to -2. We go all the way up to our graph. It's at the way top. It stops numbering it, but that's 7. Okay. Any questions about evaluating functions at certain values? Cool. Go ahead and flip this back over. We have done that. So we are now going to move on to increasing and decreasing. So increasing is referring to our y values going up when we read from left to right. Decreasing would be our y values going down, also when we're reading from left to right. So your graph has 4 possible options of what it's going to happen. When you guys get to Algebra 2, you can have graphs that go up and down and up and back down and all over the place. For right now, your graphs are going to go up the entire time. They're going to go down the entire time. I'm turning around so we're like facing the same direction. They're going to go up and then back down, or they might start going down and then go back up. So it's going to do one of those. That's the 4 behaviors we're going to see. Always up, always down, or up, down, or down, up. So on this first one, as we read from left to right, this graph is going up and then it goes back down. So what I would like for you guys to do is draw a dotted vertical line at what I like to call the switching point. That's where we switch from going up to going down. That happens at -3 because we want the x value, because we're reading from left to right, so that's our x's. We switch at -3. I then would like for you guys at the left side to write a negative infinity and at the right side to write a positive infinity. Because our graph on the far left will always be negative infinity. On the far right, it will always be positive infinity. And then from here, we're going to go one step further. So I'm giving you all these things you can label, and then you can label as much as you want or need to on your assignment. From here, right here, from negative infinity to -3, we are going up. We are increasing. So I'm going to write I and C here. And then from -3 to positive infinity, we are decreasing. We're going down. So if you just think it as a roller coaster from left to right, you're going up and then back down. All right, so once we have this done, we have our answers. We are increasing from negative infinity to -3. And then we are decreasing from -3 to positive infinity. So I like to label everything that's happening, and then I can just move it over to my blanks. Okay, I'm gonna let people finish writing that one down. All right, we'll come back to that example if you're still missing stuff. Let's flip this over. Let's look at our next example. This is a graph that is only increasing. As we read from left to right, it is increasing the entire time. So this is still negative infinity on the left. This is still positive infinity on the right. But there's no switching point, and it's just increasing the entire time. So on our blanks here for increasing, we're going to write negative infinity to positive infinity. And then it's never decreasing, so we will just mark off these lines. We don't need an answer there. Okay. Any questions about that one? Okay. Last one is another one with a switching point. So I'm going to draw a vertical line through my switching point. And then I'm going to label what that point is, which is 3. That's my X value where I switch. We've got negative infinity on the left, positive infinity on the right. Okay. As we start on the left here, is my graph going down or up? Down. So my graph starts by going down, then it goes up. So I am decreasing and then increasing on this one. So decreasing, increasing. So for my answers on this one, I'm decreasing from negative infinity to 3. And then I'm increasing from 3 to infinity. Okay. Any questions about increasing or decreasing? That is definitely the goofiest, most challenging part of today. It's the least straightforward one. But after teaching this for 8 years, which is crazy that I've done this 8 times, after teaching this for 8 years, drawing this line here and labeling everything is what I've found to help people the most. Okay, let's go back to the front. Our last 2 things should be a little bit quicker. We are going to talk about, and this is out of order, we're going to talk about maxes and mins next. So maximums and minimums. Maximums are our highest y value. So that's if we have the top of a mountain. Minimums are our lowest y values. That's if we have the bottom of like a valley or the bottom of a U. You are going to have a max, a min, or neither. You're not going to have both. So this one, is that a high point or a low point? High point. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line here at my high point so I can see where it is. I have a maximum at y equals 3. So we did maxes and mins Wednesday as well. So we've got a maximum, a high point at y equals 3. We have no minimum, so we'll just cross that off. Flipping this over. This one does not have a high point or a low point. Devontae, do you have your pass? So this one does not have a high point or a low point, as no high or low. Grab one of those. So we are just going to cross off both of these. Okay. And then the last one, this one has a low point. So draw a line right here at our low point. Our low point is a minimum at y equals 2. And we can cross off because we have no maximum. Can you wait until we're done with this? If not, you can go. If you can, that would be great. All right. So minimums and maximums, you're going to have one or the other or neither. You'll never have both. Okay. Last thing we're going to look at is x-intercepts and y-intercepts. Done with that now. So x-intercepts are the points at which you cross the x-axis. So your x-axis is side to side, your horizontal axis. So it's all the points where you cross the x-axis. Your y-intercepts are all the points where you cross the y-axis, up and down. So looking at this first one, our y-intercept, we look at our y, and I don't know why I put y-intercept first, but I did. Our y-intercept, we look at our up and down axis. I'm going to put a dot right here to label it for us. We cross one time, and it's at -4. So we just list that down. Okay, for our x-intercepts, it's where we cross our x-axis. We've already got dots on both of those. It's right here at -5 and -1. So we'll just list those. We can put a comma between them. But don't put parentheses on them because then it looks like an ordered pair. Okay. Any questions about that x and y intercept? Okay. This next one, our y-intercept, where we cross our y-axis, so up and down, right here. If it's off by like a 1/16 of an inch, just go with the closest spot. This one's at -3. And then our x-intercept is right here. We already used that spot. It is at 4, and we only have one x-intercept here. Okay. And then our very last one, our y-intercept, where we cross our y-axis, is up here at 5. And then where does our graph cross the x-axis on this one? It doesn't. It never comes low enough to cross. So if you ever don't have an x or a y-intercept, again, just mark it off. Either put a dash through it or write like NA, not applicable, so I know that you didn't just skip it. You understand that there isn't an answer. Okay, so function attributes, a lot of little things. We've already looked at evaluating functions. We've already looked at maxes and mins. So it's 2 new things, increasing, decreasing, x and y intercepts, and then those 2 things that we've already seen in 4.3 and 4.4. Okay, you guys can go ahead and glue these into your notebook, and then I will bring around your assignments. You guys have the rest of the class to work on your assignments. Anything that you guys don't get done will be homework. There's 3 problems on your assignment. I'm not sure if you'll get it done. I don't remember how long this takes. It's been a year.